out with a feature article about me that stated, "Everything he touches turns to gold." I believed that the article was true, and I started acting as if the article were true. I went to Paris and enjoyed myself with the other great love of my life, beautiful women, supermodels. I had lost track of reality. I thought real estate was easy. I never imagined that the momentum that had grown bigger and bigger with every deal would ever stop. That's exactly what happened, and it almost destroyed me. That's the other interesting truth about momentum. If you do not keep it growing, it will not just stand still. It will turn on you and take down everything you have built. That's what happened to Bill Levitt, and that's what almost happened to me. What does not kill you makes you stronger. A setback can either 1. Destroy you, or 2. Make you stronger. There's an old saying that I believe, whatever doesn't kill you makes you stronger. I have the greatest respect for people who have experienced adversity and then come back. I was one of those people in the early 90s. I went through a tough period and learned a lot about myself, and then I came back bigger and better and stronger. It was not unlike what happened to Frank Sinatra in the early 50s. Like me, he lost focus. He took his eye off the ball, and he made some bad decisions. Also, like me, it was beautiful women that had a little something to do with his troubles, but that's another story for another time. Sammy Davis Jr. tells a wonderful story in his book, Yes, I Can, where Sammy, who is on the way up, due in no small part to Sinatra's patronage, sees Frank walking down Broadway all by himself, looking utterly dejected. At the time, Frank was on the skids, having gone from being the biggest singer ever known to a laughingstock, reduced to singing novelty songs. This experience was a wake-up call for Frank. After that, he regained his focus and his success. I can tell a lot about a person by the way they handle difficult situations. I've seen many seemingly tough guys fold under pressure. I've noticed that it is a matter of how you define your setback or challenge. If you admit defeat, then you will be defeated. If you accept that the situation is bad, but you are determined to see it through, then you have a much better chance. It's your choice. It's frightening when bad things happen. I know that from personal experience. I did not let them destroy my confidence. You never really know how bad a situation is going to be. You never know how it's going to turn out. I was in the worst situation imaginable, and when it was all over, it turned out great. I did not know at the time that it was going to end okay, but in my heart and my mind, I defined it as a setback that I could overcome. I had friends who chose to give up on themselves and declare their own defeat. What a stupid thing to do. Of course they never made it through. Never declare yourself beaten. If you fail at something, it's okay. That may be out of your control, but never voluntarily throw in the towel. Always keep fighting. You never know when there is another chance or another great opportunity waiting right around the corner. Roll the boulder up the hill. I had lost my focus, and suddenly I was faced with some major setbacks. The banks were out to get me in a big way. My momentum had come to a standstill. It was terrible, but I did not quit. I kept moving forward while trying to learn from my mistakes. I stayed focused on my work, plans for new deals and new properties, because that's what made me feel good. Working on new projects helped me to regain my momentum slowly but surely, and after a while, things turned around for me in a big way. What I learned from my setback is that you have to maintain your focus and keep building your momentum at all times. Your problems can be temporary if you keep your momentum moving forward. Again, it's all in how you look at things and how you define your situation. If you feel that all hope is lost, then it is. If you view a setback as a temporary lull or slowdown that will pick up again, if you keep working at what you love, then that will be your reality. We all experience difficulties. That's life. You show your true colors in how you handle devastating events. Time will heal all wounds. Just remain positive and move on. Whenever I approach a project, I know there will be problems. I expect them. I do not cry about them, because I know it's my job to solve them. Be the one to solve tough problems, and you will be the one people pay big money for. Anyone can do things that are easy. It's rare to find people who can tackle big challenges. If you do, you stand out from the crowd. I have found that if something is too easy, it's not usually even worth doing. Lots of other people are already doing it, and there's usually not much profit in easy jobs. My business is so hard that sometimes I feel like Sisyphus, who was condemned to roll a boulder uphill for eternity. That's just the way it is sometimes, so I just keep going. I don't give up. My focus is intense enough to make the effort worth it, and my momentum makes sure that my efforts will not be futile. I have learned a lot from demanding situations. Plow right through your problems. Mistakes happen every day, so expect them and learn to deal with them. Things do not always go as planned. You're not being a pessimist or a negative thinker by expecting mistakes. You're just being realistic and prepared to survive any challenge in life as a way to protect yourself. Problems, setbacks, mistakes, and losses are all a part of life. There's something you have to accept. Don't let yourself be shocked if and when they happen. Be prepared. The more prepared you are, the less likely it is that problems will knock you off your balance. If something unexpected takes you by surprise, keep your cool. Just say to yourself, I should have known. Be flexible and adjust to the bad event without missing a beat. Later, ask yourself how you could have prepared for the problem in advance. Learn as much as you can from the situation, then move on. It will be unlikely you will make the same mistake again. That's how to handle mistakes and problems. That's how to grow and become a master of your business, your career, and your life. There's a time, however, in some endeavors, whether it is in a business, a career, or a relationship, when it is time to call it quits. Sometimes things happen that make you question whether you should keep going. As long as you are enjoying what you're doing and are making progress, keep going. Don't let nagging doubts and insecurities stop you. Self-doubt is normal. If you're no longer passionate about your career anymore, then find something you are passionate about. My motto is never give up. I follow this very strictly. I only give up on something when it's perfectly clear that there is no other option. I don't let problems and challenges stop me. They're normal in any endeavor. But when dishonesty and outright cruelty creep into any undertaking, I closely reevaluate my reasons for being involved. In 1975, when I was working with the city and the banks to put together a deal that would save the area around Grand Central Terminal and 42nd Street from ruin, I had a very difficult time. The banks would not give me a loan without tax abatement from the city. The city wouldn't give me tax abatement without a loan from a bank. Neither side would budge. I spent many long months of negotiating back and forth and proving to the city and the banks that this deal would work and that everybody was going to be happy with the Grand Hyatt Hotel that I was planning to build to replace the old Commodore Hotel. Finally, the city agreed to give me a very generous tax abatement. When I told the news to the bank, they still wanted to drag their feet on the financing. Then many of the big New York developers got wind of the huge tax abatement and protested. The project was one delay after another, and it really tested my resolve. When one renegotiation after another failed, I felt like giving up. However, I refused to quit. I kept hammering away and finally closed the deal. It turned out to be a huge success, good for the city, the bank, and me. That experience taught me to always expect setbacks, to solve them one by one, and to never quit until the job is done. You have to be the same way. Don't be afraid of mistakes and setbacks, because they're your best teachers. Learn from them. Use the knowledge to build something great for yourself. When you reach the top, give back. One way to keep your momentum going is to keep giving yourself greater and greater challenges. Once you have reached the top, what do? Once you have reached the top, it's time to give back. Give to charity, give to your children, give your knowledge to others, and give to your culture. I made a lot of money, and I give a lot of money away to charity. Warren Buffett is a great example. Billionaire investor Warren Buffett is distributing more than $30 billion of his stock to the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, which focuses on global health issues such as the Gavi Alliance, which distributes vaccines to children in poor countries, and to education, such as the United Negro College Fund's Gates Millennium Scholars Program. Buffett wants his money to be used to tackle some of the complex problems that are the most difficult to solve. His children were 100% okay with that. It's also important to give your knowledge and insight freely to anyone who asks. I believe people absorb more efficiently and faster when they learn by doing, and I'm intent on giving people the knowledge they need to succeed. I give 2-hour speeches at the Learning Annex Wealth Expos for the same purpose, and I donate a large portion of my speaking fees to charity. To keep your momentum going, you must have intrinsic values as well as monetary values, and you must recognize when it is time to start giving back. Zanker's take. I always go with my momentum. After the big front-page newspaper stories in 1982,